All right, yeah, we're right in the swing of things, getting ready for Illinois Friday night on a short week. So we got a lot of work done yesterday, and adjusting the week to get ready for a Friday night game. Just a couple injury updates. Deshaun Singleton hurt his knee; he'll be out for an extended period of time. We expect to have him back at some point. I don't know when that'll be. So Deshaun will be out this Friday. Luke Reimer. Out of the hospital, back and forth kind of a little bit. So Luke won't play this Friday, but hopefully we'll have Luke healthy and back with us here soon. So,
Coach, I mean, with it being a Friday game, has it changed up tempo in practice at all, just because it's a quicker pace and a shorter week?
Yeah, I think you have to just condense maybe the work time that that you're doing. Normally Monday's a day off for us. As I said, we worked last night. We'll have the players come in tonight, this afternoon, this evening, which normally Mondays are off for us. So those are the two main differences.
At the risk of it sound like a loaded question, would this be an example of a good time to hit the road, maybe?
Well, I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think so. I think that we're blessed to have these fans. It's like Terrence Knighton said. Terrence was like, "Man, we're played that badly," and let's make sure we say this now. Okay, after the game, you asked me a question, and in the NFL, I had to answer you the next day. Here, I get a day in between, and I would have answered you the next day. We didn't play very well. Okay, we didn't play well enough. That's not to take anything away from Michigan. Okay, Michigan's an excellent football team, but we could have played better than that. And then I say we, because that's not me throwing the players under the bus. That's all of us. And I don't think there's a guy in that locker room that doesn't feel that way. So that wasn't good enough. That wasn't good enough at all. So we're not. It's not the crowd. No, I'm saying, like, I don't care where we play next. Like Terrence Knighton said to me, he said, "I can't believe we played that badly," and people were still there and they're cheering for us and all those things. I mean, it's an amazing. You can't help but say thank you to the people that came. But yeah, we got. Can I be how I really feel? I'm trying to get the players to stop thinking about all of this other stuff, like play. Like, we went out and played Minnesota. We played good football against Minnesota. We were flying around on defense. We were hitting people. We looked the way it's supposed to look. And then some things went wrong, right? We got a bad call at the end of the half. We scored a touchdown. It doesn't go our way. Okay, great, whatever. We come back, we battle. We fumble the ball at the end of the game. We throw a pick. We lose the game. We go to Colorado. We're playing pretty well, all right? We had 3 turnovers. I want to talk about the turnovers. I keep saying to the guys, like, it was 13-7 with 6 minutes left in the third quarter. We lost 36-13. Like, we kind of accepted the fact that we were going to lose. And so, to me, Bill Walsh said it, champions behave like champions before they're champions. They have a winning standard. So I want a winning mindset. And, we played Northern Illinois. We played La Tech. We're a defensive football team. The defense has to learn that we're a defensive football team. They've got to play great defense while the offense throws, kind of plays body blows. We don't leave the offense out there in 4 wides, dropping back and throwing it 50 times a game. We did that the last couple of years, right? And everyone said, hey, it doesn't work here. So why would the defense want us to still keep doing that? So I'm saying all that to say that we've got to get to the point where we go out and play, and it doesn't matter if I'm getting double teamed as a D lineman. It doesn't matter what the call is. It doesn't matter if we're down 14-0. We got to play, and that's the winning mindset. And whereas the guys have to, again, kind of probably not listen to everything that's out there. What you should be doing. There's no you should be doing, at least in this building. It's like, go play. It's a football game. So, Steve, I expect we have some really good players. They're going to play in the National Football League. They need to show up. Like, they need to show up. Like, the good players from Michigan, I know, I can tell you who they were because I watched them on the field, okay? Our really good players need to show up. And that's not me calling anybody out. That's me giving them confidence that I believe they can do it. There's a big difference, right? I'm not calling anybody out by name. We have guys that I believe on our team can absolutely wreck a game, and I want to see them wreck the game. And this whole, I'm just overthinking it a little bit, coach, and I'm worried about this, and I don't want to make a mistake. Okay, enough. The first play, everyone's, I get all these texts. Man, what a great catch! Caught him on his helmet. Cover 3 in the middle safety players at 5 yards. Just missed assignment. Second play, touchdown, missed assignment. Third play, missed assignment. All the touchdowns, missed assignments. So we're better than we played, right? So you tell me I want to get that off my chest to the guys. I love our guys. And all I want our guys to do is play football with confidence. I don't want them playing football afraid to lose. Play football with confidence. And so that's my job. I haven't gotten it done yet. So I'm anxious to play on Friday.
So quickly on Reimer, you said he had some pain on Saturday. Is that like injury pain? Illness?
No, he's got I just don't want to start talking about his personal health without him saying. But nothing football related. Yeah, nothing football related.
How's that running without those guys, Singleton, Ryder, put that in perspective, not having those two guys?
It's a big deal, I mean, some guys have to step up. Like even in that game, once Deshaun went down, Tommy, who's been playing both ways, had to go play the whole game at corner. Then, Newsom had to go in and play at safety. So Phelan really played well. He came through for us. So this week, I think because we have some time to do it, like Kobe Bretz is a guy that can play football. We need Kobe to play well. We need Phelan to step up and play well. Tommy's the guy who's been playing both ways. He needs to help us at corner too. Some young guys that have been kind of in that red shirt mode. DeAndre Barnes is an excellent young player. He's been practicing with the twos. He's ready to go now if we need him. So some of those injuries, could maybe affect us. I think Lenhart, we have a chance of getting back this week. So obviously that'd be a big thing for us. Mackay has been playing that jack position. He went back last week and played middle linebacker. So just some different things like that. Hopefully we can settle down this week and really lock some guys into roles.
You mentioned hesitance, that word, after the game. And I wonder, after you watched it again and saw it, do you agree still? You think they were hesitant at all against Michigan, or what jumped off the film to you as needing to see them?
Yeah, we absolutely we were hesitant in the way that we played. Like our pass rushers rushed to try to keep their quarterback in the pocket instead of cutting loose to go rush the quarterback because he ran for a touchdown. But he ran for a touchdown because one of our young D linemen went the wrong way and didn't execute his assignment. You can't play football trying not to make mistakes, right? You just can't do it that way. You got to attack, and especially a team like Michigan, right? Like you have to attack. The bigger thing for me, and I'm saying this out loud so that it's spoken into existence, is I want to be the type of team that we're playing like this, and then we get down 14-0, and we're like, oh heck no, I'm not playing like that. I'm not losing 45-7 in front of my mom. Like I'm gonna play better. Not jumping out and doing my own thing, but trusting ourselves and trusting our technique. So when people say learning how to win, if you haven't won a lot, it's hard to figure out how to win. So it's like, I'm doing this. Okay, we lost because we made mistakes. Don't make mistakes. I'm gonna do my own thing. If you have confidence, like that, the team we play with confidence, right? You go out there, you play with a little swagger. You do your job. You do it at a really high level. Their longest play was 29 yards. It wasn't like just running by us we couldn't cover. It was 29 yards on a busted assignment. We could have played better than that. So I think it's that hesitation of not wanting to be the guy who messes up. But we need our great players to be great players, and we need them to go make plays and make plays within the scheme, not outside the scheme. So that was pretty clear last night. I take full responsibility. My job is to teach them how to win. So if we haven't figured out yet how to win, we were so close at Minnesota. That was what it was supposed to look like. And just because we lost doesn't mean you start searching for different answers. You just double down on what we did then. So here we are on the road again. We have a chance to go on the road, play a good team. Let's go do what we were doing.
Irrespective of health, are you guys ready to embrace and kind of line up behind Heinrich as your starting quarterback?
I feel very confident with Heinrich being the starting quarterback. That being said, I have a lot of confidence in Jeff. I know it's not probably a great answer, but we went out. We practiced last night, Sam. We practiced last night, and Jeff looked awesome. Jeff looked great. Heinrich looked great. Chubba looked good. So, I'm getting them both ready. But I have full confidence in Heinrich. In the midst of losing, and I know there were some bad passes and all things, but in the midst of losing, I saw things from Heinrich that I wanted to see. I saw him compete. I saw him and Billy work well versus man and win on some option routes. So I saw some things that I think we need to add to our run game. Just have to get the run game back to what it had been doing.
How close are you to having what you would define as a good offensive identity that you can replicate week after week?
We have an offensive identity. We're going to run the ball. Don't. I would not just confuse. In all seriousness, I would not confuse identity, like knowing what you want to do and who you are, with always having success. Like, we lined up and we tried to run the ball against those guys. If that game stays like 7-0, or if we go down on that 4th and 2 and we score and make it 14-7, we're going to continue just trying to hey, they were running the ball. They were very consistent with their clips. We would have stayed with that. Once you get down 28-0, we're going to play to win. We came out, but we know exactly who we are. We're going to run the ball. We're going to run a little bit of option. We're going to play action pass here and there. We're going to try to convert third downs. I think we're just trying to do it better.
Along with Heinrich, after having a chance to watch the tape, what positives do you take away from Saturday, either team or individual standpoint?
That we can learn from it. There's some guys that compete. Billy Kemp competed like a son of a gun. Some other guys compete. I don't want to and I'm not saying our guys didn't compete. Just to kind of what Mitch was saying, I just think we play with an air of hesitancy. When anytime your team does that, you put it on yourself as a coach. I'm not cutting them loose enough, so I got to do a better job. So we went out last night and we played. We didn't really play Saturday. We kind of went out there and tried to win. You got to play. It's a game. You got to play it. You got to play it, right?
Was your Sunday practice a little different than the usual? When you say practice Sunday?
Yeah, we practiced last night.
Full pads.
Yeah, we practiced. Yeah, I'm saying that we went out in full pads. We competed. We said, hey, we didn't. It's a short week, so it's kind of like a Tuesday, right? So it's that too. But we didn't really play at the level we wanted to on Sunday. So we went out, we put the ball down, we played, and you know what? Guys had fun playing.
What about Turner Corcoran? Is he available?
He's fine. Yeah, he's fine. Yeah.
So he'll be back as your starting left.
Yes.
And then Malachi Coleman didn't get in that game, and he's at the 4-game mark. He's a guy that you plan to play more than 4.
Yeah. He was out last week. He was in the protocol, so he got hit during practice.
How do you feel about the running back spot now after a couple of weeks and trying to figure it out after the game and the year's situation?
Yeah, we've been going with Anthony. Anthony just has to protect the football. When he fumbled that game early on, and a lot of people kind of said he's in the doghouse. Why? No one's in the doghouse. It's just we can't play the way we want to play and put the ball on the ground, right? So it happened again in the red zone. So I'm working with him all the time. I love the guy. I walked off the field with him like, hey, you'll be back. Let's go. Fleeks, I just think, showed us a dynamic element, and I thought Emmett played really well. Quentin, we've been trying to bring Quentin along. There's just a big difference. He's so talented. It's a big difference from going from like seeing cards to being out there, and they can be in one of 7 different defenses. And so Quentin's coming, but I think Josh has been the one guy that really kind of jumped. So he can play receiver, he can play tailback. So, Anthony will just work on ball security. Fleeks will keep bringing him along, and Emmett's a guy I think can do it all.
Heinrich described the loss on Saturday as demoralizing. How do you see the team's psyche after a few games removed?
All I know is what it better be. It better be. We can't let that happen again. It better be. We better play our best game on Friday. It better be for all of us that you don't get to play for the University of Nebraska Cornhuskers and play in that stadium and play with all these facilities and get all the things that we get, and then judge how well we're going to play based upon if we're down 14-0 or not. If we're down 13-7 with 6 minutes left in the third quarter against Colorado, we better play. Okay, so that's the mindset. And so as I've told the guys, like they got, hey, I know you don't really know me, Coach Rhule. Let me bring you along to like, hey, I believe in you. To now, I believe in them too much to let that happen on Saturday. It's ridiculous what happened on Saturday. So I believe in them too much. They're going to play, okay? And then all I'm doing is this Friday is a great test. I said it to you guys right after the game. I said, hey, we'll find out who we are on Friday. We'll go to that bye week and we'll look at the tape and we'll say, okay, like who are the Lions? I'm not talking about being perfect. This is not a game of perfect, man. But like, who are the ones that go out there and they attack? And so I'll put my money on a lot of these guys, though. Like I could see Jamari Butler I could see Ty Robinson look in their eyes last night.
It's clear that you want to see more fire from them. We can see that from you today. How do you balance that with like just the overall approach that you take to this program being methodical and blue collar, and not the team that wants to come out and win a game in the first quarter? Is something that
I just want to be careful. I'm not saying fire. I'm not saying our guys weren't fired up to play. I'm not saying they were flat. I'm saying but I'm very specifically what I'm saying is we are a team of great guys that we don't want to make mistakes and lose the game. Okay, and so you can't play that way. You got to do your assignment. Like you don't get to just say, hey, I'm supposed to block Sam, but I'm going to block Sean instead. You got to do your assignment, but like you got to attack it. You can't go out there and be like, I don't want to get beat. So if you have 7 guys on offense trying not to get beat, like who's knocking anybody down? The great Cornhusker teams, they talked about knockdowns. We had like 100-some knockdowns 2 weeks ago, and we didn't. On the 4th and 1 play, I'll always take the heat, like take the questions, like, hey, should we run this? Should we run that? No one was on the ground on a 4th and 1 play, not one player, because we're all trying not to get beat. So I'm sending this message so that everybody on our team knows what it is, and everybody. So I don't think it's fire. That being said, the process to me is it's never the schedule. It's not do we practice on Sundays or Mondays. The process is that we have a standard of performance, a mindset, that we attack everything. We try to go 1-0 every single day. We try to get 1% better. And when we don't, we take responsibility for it. We attack like lions, everything that we do. And so the only crime against a team ever is to accept losing, is to accept losing. So I thank Coach Harbaugh at the end of the game. I said, thanks for letting us play that out, right? Like, 2 weeks ago we had the lead. Who was it? Northern Illinois went down and scored as the game was over, and kind of people were kind of like, I was like, no, they got to get ready for their season, right? We lost that day, but the onside kick, like most times you wouldn't want to show your onside kick. We did it. Didn't look very good. We're going to get better from it. So that's the mindset for me. I was on the officials to the very end of the game, like, hey, throw that flag. Like, we're going to play till the end of the game. So that's the process for me. That's the methodical nature. It's just, hey, come after every game, tell the truth. We win, we lose. What happened? We could have played better on Saturday. Our guys are such good guys, they don't want to lose, but we're not going to win until we start to attack.
You had 14 sacks in the first 3 games. I don't know if you guys have had any in the last 2. Now, sacks isn't the definitive on quarterback pressure, but what do you think's happened the last couple of weeks, and how do you think it might affect the game against Illinois? They've struggled with protecting.
Yeah, it's a great question. Maybe we had, I don't know, one against La Tech. We've been going with a little bit more 4-man rush, a little bit more coverage. There were some times in this game, again, when I say we're better than we played, like Prince Will won a couple times, Jamari won a couple times. The ball was out really quickly because, just the coverage, again, we moved a lot of guys around, but still, like, hey, we're supposed to drop down over number 3, and that guy runs to the post, and the guy's wide open, he throws the ball. So I think we can get pressure. To me, we have to have the ability to get pressure with 4. You can't always, like against Colorado, we were bringing 5 and 6 and 7, right? We have to have the ability to get pressure with 4 guys, and kind of goes back to what I'm saying about attacking, right? Like, you can't rush trying to keep the guy in the pocket. We have to rush, and Altmaier's an excellent player. He can run. He's athletic, but we can't just sit there and blitz all day and play, straight man across the board. We're going to have to rush and let our pass rushers rush, and so we've been trying to emphasize it, but we're not getting necessarily the results. Michigan, at the same time, does a nice job of, they're going to chip, they're going to protect, and they're going to trust their guys to win, and their guys won on some big plays.
What's your confidence level in Albano at kickers? Three in a row he's missed now, and kind of how do you assess that situation?
He's just like the rest of us. He's just like the rest of us. I've got to be better. The O-line's got to be better. The D-line's got to be better. Tristan has to be better. Tristan can kick better than he's kicking right now, and so he's got to get it corrected. He was out there last night. He was kicking. It's not for a lack of effort, not for a lack of trying, but yeah, I'm going to always, when I go to the game, I'm going to trust our guys to make the plays that I think they can make. Now, that might adjust the line. He might go for it a few more times. But, we went through one for on 4th and 1, and it didn't work out for us, right? But I think Tristan can do it. I know he can do it. And he's a young player. Sometimes I would have loved to have brought him along a little later, but he's going through the fire right now. And the good news is I think he's recognizing, again, when we talk about that fear and confidence, like, yeah, I'm missing some big kicks that I want to make. I'm still here, still making it. I'll be okay. And so Tristan's just going to have to get better like the rest of us.
You mentioned after the game it could be big for a guy like Jalen even to have that catch at the end. How close is he? And sort of, do you have an update on some of the other young guys? I know like Jaden Doss had the hand injury or whatever earlier. Is he closer, or where are some of the guys standing?
Jaden was cleared to practice last week. He broke his arm, so he's clear. He was finally cleared last week, so he was out there with us last night. So he's a guy that could see some reps. As I said, Malachi was out last week. Malachi, I thought, was really coming on before that. He played some good snaps the week before against La Tech. Jalen's another guy that, as he masters what he's doing, the playbook, I think we're seeing some things out of him. So those guys are all kind of right there on the precipice of getting on the field.
Coach, going back to the quarterback spot, a couple of weeks ago, Marcus Sadfield said something along the lines of, Heinrich and Jeff are both so talented, he doesn't want them both on the sidelines. Have you ever thought about a dual quarterback system? Is that something you believe in or would try?
You at the same time, or are you talking about like just playing
kind
both?
of like rotating them in and out.
Yeah, I'll do whatever it takes to win. I'll do whatever it takes to win.
Back to Jeff. Is it safe to say that his road to recovery has taken longer than you expected?
No, he had a high ankle sprain. I just think he's so tough that he was out there. Like even last week in practice, like he's out there, but he he's kind of like Cam last week. Cam was out there moving around, but they just can't do fully everything, and so. As a quarterback, you can be available as kind of an active guy. As a D lineman, it's kind of hard to push off. So I think when that first happened, I usually think of high ankle sprains as being 4 to 6 weeks. So I expected it to be probably around now.
These short weeks, you probably got used to them in the NFL, so I'm not sure it's really new for you. But what maybe is different in a week like this? And are you aware that you might have
you might have these every year because of the tolerance that Nebraska put in 10 years ago.
Yeah, I was in the American and the MAC. When we were in the MAC, when I was an assistant coach, I couldn't tell you if it was Tuesday or Wednesday or Thursday because we play a Thursday night, a Friday night, a Saturday night. The only thing tough is that you get back at we play these night games on the road. You get back so late, but thankfully the guys have. Thankfully, it's a Friday night. So we played Thursday, we played Friday. We're going to play another Friday. I don't really love night games very much because you're sitting around, especially on Fridays. At least on Saturdays you can watch other teams play. On Fridays you're watching, as the world turns or something. So it's not super ideal, but like I said, we're not going to. It is what it is. But the changes in the week. Just kind of this week we'll keep our normal rhythm, except we brought him in on Monday. We did more last night, and I trust Mitch, our sports science guy. He just does a great job with the recovery and trying to make sure I don't do too much. To make sure they're fresh for Friday night.
When you're in a short week, do you try to condense the amount of things you're trying to fix in practice because you maybe don't have quite as much time?
Yeah, I think you have to condense. You have to condense what you're doing. Right? To me, in the NFL when you're going Sunday to Thursday, that's really hard. I remember I was with Coach Coughlin. We just walked through that whole week. We went out, and we played somebody, and we just ran kind of like our training camp offense, and we had more success because the guys are really familiar with it, and so I learned something there. But I think on a week like this, now you're playing a different defense, right? You're playing kind of a bear defense that plays some man, plays some zone. You're facing an offense that can be big. It can spread it out. They can get big on you. They can be little on you. So you have to face so many different things with Illinois. They're so well coached that you do have to prepare a lot. So we try to do a good job with walkthroughs. But again, that's why I said last night, we went out and practiced last night. Nothing's ever a punishment. It's always an opportunity, right? It's like an opportunity. We've got to get that game out of our system, and we've got to go compete. So I thought the guys, they had a great look about them when we got done last night.
I'm
sorry.
Talk about avoiding the outside noise with the players. Is there anything you can do other than tell the kids not to pay attention to anything outside? Some coaches have banned social media or whatever. Do you ever consider that?
No way. I don't even tell them. I don't tell them what to think because they're not going to listen to me anyway, right? I try to tell my son, hey, don't look at Twitter, and he's like, okay, as he's looking at Twitter, right? So, I think this is the modern world, right? And you have to decide where you put your attention to, right? So, if I'll just say this, if being 2-3 is the end of the world for us, then there's a lot of 2-3 teams in the Big Ten right now. Like we're facing one on Friday, so I think Nebraska's been 2-3 or some version of thereof the last couple of years. And when you look back at last year, when they got to this point last year, I thought they accelerated, right? The team got better and they had some chances to win games down the stretch. So why don't we just do that? That was the message last night was do that. So most important thing to me in this program is that the guys become great adults, and so I would never tell them to not look at this or look at that.
You've seen Illinois in their progression. What do you make of that, and just the principles that exist in dealing with this program?
Yeah, I don't know Brett real well, other than just kind of since I've gotten to the league, right? He's, when you go to the meetings, he's one of the more sort of stately, sort of elder statesman, weighs in on topics, has really good perspective. I think, obviously they've done you watch even early on, just kind of watching them from afar, really kind of ran the ball, played defense. They're much more diverse now, explosive. I think they do a great job of taking advantage of the guys that they have, right? They had a bunch of guys last year get drafted. They come back this year. They're tailoring what they do to those players. They do an excellent job. They're going to challenge you up front on their defensive line. They're going to challenge you up front offensively. Anytime you have a quarterback who can run, it's going to be a challenge. So it'll be a heck of a football game.
You talk about wanting your guys to attack and just go out and play. Is there anyone that you show them as a model that you've coached before? Is like, hey, this is what this looks like in terms of attacking?
Yeah, I think I haven't done that. That's a great. I might do that now. I showed them the ones who did. I showed them Tommy Hill. Right? You guys probably saw. Tommy Hill took that kickoff return in that game, and after last week where he fumbled. Okay, and he fumbled last week, and he's the one who went down and got the ball. Okay, and then he's playing both ways. He catches the kickoff return this week. He runs and he gets not hit hard. Right. He gets back up. He goes out. He continues to play on defense. We need him on offense. We yell for him. He goes on offense. It's at the end of the game, okay, and I say it's 45 whatever, and I say, hey, I'm going to put one of the young guys in. He's like, no, I'm going. Like last week I took him off a kickoff because he's playing like, however many snaps. He's like, I'm going on kickoff. Don't ever take me off again. I said, gotcha, Tommy. Kickoff return, he goes out, he catches the ball, doesn't get any great blocking. And if you go back and watch the play, like he literally carries people like 7 yards. And not everyone on the play is like pushing the pile for him. He carries people 7 yards. I told him when he walked off the field, I said, man, I said my own way. I said, I'll mess with you forever. Like I love guys like that, man. Like, and from what I hear from people, maybe Tommy wouldn't have maybe done that last year. I don't know, but Tommy Hill, man, like just give me a bunch of guys like that, So he doesn't want it easy. He wants it to be difficult and loves to compete. So I showed the team that. So that they all know, like, hey, what's Coach Rhule looking for? I showed them that. And then tonight, we're going to show them what last night looked like. Because last night was winning football. And then we're going to do the same thing tomorrow. So they'll get it.